There's some speculation about quarterback.
Yeah.
Will they do something with a quarterback? Would they take Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. if they're still there? In theory, they could maybe trade down and still get them. Who knows? Those are the two guys we need to talk about now, though, because, there's a point where, and all the other teams that need positions other than quarterback would love to see a run. They'd love to see 6 quarterbacks go in the top 12, 13 picks. That just means all the other players we want and covet are going to be more likely to fall down our way. But of the 6 quarterbacks regarded as potential first-rounders, Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix are the 2 that are seen as the most likely to go all the way out of the round altogether. The NFL didn't invite them to the draft for that reason, supposedly. I mean, I think that there's also an issue with we're doing everything we can to spend as little money as possible, frankly. But Penix and Nix, if they're not surefire first-rounders, and they might do the Will Levis thing, it's embarrassing to everyone. It's embarrassing to us. It makes us look like we don't know who's going in the first round after we hype these guys as first-rounders. So Penix and Nix not there. Chris, the over-under from DraftKings for both of them is 32.5. Now, Michael Penix is more of a favorite to go under. He's minus 350 to go under, plus 270 to go over. So the anticipation is he's going to make it into round 1. I've heard he's going to be top half.
Yeah.
And he's that guy where there's that weird sense there's somebody out there that secretly loves him, and they're just going to snatch him, either by their natural spot or they're going to trade up. I mean, there are people looking at the Falcons at 8 as a possibility for Michael Penix Jr., which would be stunning to say the least, given all the money they're paying to Kirk Cousins. But Kirk Cousins isn't a 5-year answer in Atlanta, and we've seen Jordan Love sit on the bench for 3 years, so it's not impossible for something like that. But he's the guy, I think, far more likely to go in round 1 than Bo Nix.
Yeah, listen, I think both are going. I think these are good bets. I would take both of them, right? I really would. Again, you look at it and you go like New England can't leave the first round without a quarterback. They got to get one, right? The Giants, we don't know what they'll do if they don't get May. But those are 3 teams right there. Like the Raiders and the Broncos can't leave the draft without a quarterback. The Broncos need a starting quarterback, right? The Raiders they're not desperate, but they kind of need it. And Michael Penix is an incredible talent. I mean, incredible. And so is Bo Nix. And I just have a hard time sitting there right there at that range, like we talked about yesterday, that 11, 12, 13 range where they go there. Or, hey, does somebody trade down and read the board right? And like you said, like you had in your mock draft, does somebody read it right to where, wait, maybe I can acquire a few more picks and still take my quarterback a few picks down? Maybe, but I think that's really risky if you're sold on the guy and you got a guy, right? I mean, Michael Penix was put on earth to stand in the pocket and throw laser beams from the pocket. He's a better athlete than people realize, right? I don't think the whole league in totality is in love with him, but I think to your point, the teams that love him really love him. They really do. And, I just think he's a natural that way. And Bo Nix, the same thing. I mean, Bo Nix, you watch him play, you go, well, I mean, as far as quarterback play, he might play by the book better than anybody out there as far as perfect mechanics, location of the football, good read after good read, then, oh, wait, I can make plays off schedule and do that too. And that to me, when I keep saying that, is I don't give a damn what anybody tells me. Sean Payton is going to take Bo Nix. I would be shocked if that doesn't happen.
If he doesn't spring up to get J.J. McCarthy.
If he doesn't.
I still think that's possible. I think there may have been a private work out there, and I think that whole Peyton Manning thing from the other day wasn't trying to throw people off the scent. It was either inadvertent or, as I speculated, trying to screw things up, trying to throw a wrench into the Broncos' efforts to move up and get J.J. McCarthy. But I agree with you on Nix to the Broncos as a possibility. I think it's more pressing for the Broncos to get a quarterback than it is for the Raiders because they've got Gardner Minshew and they've got Aiden O'Connell. I think you could make the argument to roll the dice with Minshew and see what happens. He almost took the Colts to the playoffs last year, for crying out loud. So, we'll see. But I agree. There's a chance they both go. And if they both go, it's 6 quarterbacks in round 1 for the first time since 1983. Football historian, who were the 6 quarterbacks taken in round 1 in 1983? Go.
Okay, so Elway, Marino, Kenny O'Brien, Tony Eason, Jim Kelly, right? And
you got 5 right. You're 5 for 5, bro.
I know. Hold on a second here. Who the hell am I missing?
You're 5 for 5. You want a hint?
Yeah.
You want a hint?
Yeah.
He works for us. He works with us.
Oh, duh.
He
Tom
works for
Blackledge.
NBC.
Right. I got it.
Yeah.
Yep. I would have got there eventually. I was choking under the pressure, but yep, there we go. 6. All right. So yep, that's right. And then listen, I think this class has got a chance to do some of that stuff. Like you've heard me say, I think they all can play quarterback, right? There's only one that I worry about that needs things fixing, and you heard me, that's Drake May, right? But again, I think everybody's got respect for what these guys do on the football field. And Michael Penix, like I hear what you're saying about the Raiders, but damn, the Raiders need a beacon of hope, like we talk about with like the Steelers and all that a few weeks ago. They need something to go, wait, we got something that's like, people want to come and watch and see. And Michael Penix can be that guy. He could be the guy that comes in next year and, whoa, man, he's putting up big stats and numbers and throwing the ball all over the lot. He's older, he's mature, he's played a lot of football, he's had reps, right? And he's got an incredible big left arm. And I think that fits, what the Raiders would like at that position.
I just have a feeling whenever Penix get taken, that's going to be the oh shit moment of round 1. I think whoever takes him, we're going to say what I just said. I'm not going to say it again. But I think that's going to be the moment. And look, could it be the Seahawks at 16 where his Washington offensive coordinator is now the offensive coordinator under Mike McDonald? Possibly. Could it be the Raiders at 13? Could it be the Falcons at 8? If he's on the board at 20, the Steelers brought him in for a visit. The Steelers don't waste their time. The Steelers don't screw around. The Steelers don't play games. They do their homework on the people they feel like they need to do their homework on, and they're ready to make a pick when they make a pick. And if a guy falls to them, so be it. 2 years ago, they had no qualms about Kenny Pickett falling to them. Maybe they wish he hadn't in hindsight, but he did. The year before, everybody knew they were taking Najee Harris. Nobody took Najee Harris before the Steelers could. So if he's there at 20, man, that would definitely be a moment if he ends up being the post-2024 quarterback for the Steelers, which means it's obvious it's Russell Wilson and Justin Fields for 1 year and 1 year only in Pittsburgh. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. The over-under for quarterbacks in round 1 is 4.5. The over is minus 400. The under is plus 300. I think it should be.
No, definitely.
I think it should be 5.5.
This is one of the best bets, right? This is it. I'm with you. This is what I talked about this with Jake Croucher, who of course makes a living looking at stuff like this and winning, like, right? One of those few people you talk about, like in the world.
Except on Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah, right. Except on that one. Exactly. But okay. But yeah, that's one where, you kind of go through the logic and we go, wait, it's definitely, we know 4 are definitely going. We know. And then it's just like, wait, only Penix or Knicks have to hit? And like, wait, we got some teams that are kind of desperate for a quarterback and we don't think like that's going to happen? That one to me, I think is easy money. I think the markets are being like skewed and a little messed up there because of like maybe a year like last year where Levis, where everybody had him penciled in at number 4 or 5 in the draft and he went out there. And I think that's maybe scaring people off like a number like 5 or whatever you're saying there.
And really, Levis would have gone first round this year because there are more teams after the top 10 that need quarterbacks.
Right.
That's why he slid. The Titans were thinking about taking him with their first round pick. If the tackle hadn't been there, they would have taken him. And then they get lucky. It slides all the way through. And what do? They bust their asses to trade up to get him early in round 2. So they got the guy they would have taken in the first round. But that doesn't happen this year. I'm with you. The over-under should be 5.5. And you've convinced me now that I feel pretty confident. And remember, if you trade into round 1 to get a quarterback, we saw it with Teddy Bridgewater 10 years ago. We saw it with Lamar Jackson 6 years ago. You get him for 5 years, not 4 on his rookie deal. And that is huge. That's why for Bo Nix and Michael Penix, I don't know. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Where's the pick where you're better off just not being taken in round 1? We talked about this in the context of T. Higgins, the first pick in round 2 several years ago. And now making more under the franchise tag in 2024 than any of the first-round receivers on their fifth-year option are making. Where's that break-even point? I don't know. But you get into the 20s, deeper into the 20s, you're better off just slipping all the way to round 2 because if you're good, you're going to be in line for a big payday, Chris, sooner than later.
Yeah. I mean, you're right about that. You are. There's no doubt. But I that's to me going to be this interesting thing with those two quarterbacks, right? Where I don't think these teams can flirt with danger too much, right? Right, like the Denver scenario of like maybe trading down, and I get that. Like, hey, maybe you could trade down and get a few picks and still get your quarterback. But damn, that's risky. I mean, it's risky for a team that said like, wait, we need a quarterback and we got to get this one right, as we talked about yesterday and all that, and what came out of Sean Payton's mouth. Let alone, two, what I would be scared about is, they don't have a second round pick. They don't have anything like that. So if they did trade down and then they felt like, ooh, wait, somebody is making a move to take the quarterback we want, and if they had to trade up, they're going to be in trouble there, right? So that's where I just think they can't flirt with danger here. They got to take, the guy they want at 12 or whatever the hell pick it is. They're at 12, exactly right. They got to take that guy there. They can't risk it.
This is just one of those years where the planets are lining up with 6 potential first-round quarterbacks and more than 6 teams that need a quarterback. And, yeah, it's not going to be 6 in the first 13, but 6 in the first 32, entirely possible. We could match 1983. And, Elway, Marino, Kelly, O'Brien kind of. Eason started a Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
Eason started a Super Bowl.
Right.
Didn't go well.
Right.
And ended up getting benched for Steve Horsecollar Grogan.
Right.
So,
I know.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.